the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
Please rise. The Honorable Judge John Doe presiding.
Mr. Gerald Green, what is today's case?
Your Honor, today's case is the United Kingdom versus Mary Maloney.
Order the guard.
Order the guard!
We are now here to hold the trial of the United Kingdom versus Mary Maloney for the killing of her husband, Patrick Maloney. May the two sides introduce themselves.
The defendant's name is Maloney, first initial M. My name is Assefa, first initial A.
My name is Latifou, first initial M.
Is the prosecution ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution wish to have an open statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may continue.
Your Honor, members of the jury, my name is Mohammed Latifou, and I am representing the district attorneys for the United Kingdom in this case. We intend to prove that Mary Maloney is guilty of killing her husband, Patrick Maloney. Thank you. To start off my claim and reasoning, Mary's alibi is set as this. When Patrick had come in and I was sewing, he was tired. So tired, he had not wanted to go out for supper. I then put the meat in the oven and slopped out to the grocery for vegetables. After this, I had come back to find him lying on the floor. The first thing I find unusual with this alibi is that if he was too tired to go out for dinner, why would he want Mary to go out and buy vegetables? A normal human being in this situation would rather have a light dinner instead of waiting for her to buy vegetables. The next thing I find unusual with this alibi is the leg of lamb she cooked. Sources from the detective say that Patrick Maloney was killed with a heavy, blunt object. The leg of lamb lines up with the description of the murder weapon. It can also provide an answer on why she fed the leg of lamb to the police officers. Mary Maloney could have done this in an attempt to obstruct the evidence of a murder weapon. Another thing that is unusual in her alibi is how she was cooking the meat before she went out for the vegetables. If you look at the ratio of how well the meat was cooked to Patrick Maloney's estimated time of death, it does not line up with her perception of time in her alibi. To add on to this, we can look at the time she bought the vegetables. If Patrick Maloney was already dead before Mary Maloney went out, we can find even more reasoning to suspect Mary. My conclusions of these points is this. I think Mary Maloney killed her husband, put the leg of lamb in the oven, then went to the grocery to buy vegetables. After, she came home to stage the witness of his death. To end this off, these are the reasons why we could suspect and find Mary Maloney guilty of causing Patrick Maloney's death. Please find Mary Maloney guilty of first-degree murder and obstruction of evidence. Thank you.
Does the defense wish to have an opening statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may continue.
Your Honor, members of the jury, my name is Ayman and I am representing Mary Maloney in this case. We intend to prove that Mary Maloney is not guilty of killing her husband, Patrick Maloney. Murder is defined as, according to Cornell University, the unlawful killing of a human being with malice aforethought or intentional or reckless conduct resulting in the death of another person. In this case, there is no evidence proving that Mary Maloney killed her husband, and expert examiners on the scene even came to the conclusion that there was no possible or feasible way that she could have killed Patrick. There are numerous eyewitness accounts of Mary Maloney being away from home at the time of the murder. The witnesses are, firstly, Watterson, first initial G, a coworker at the grocery store; Bertrain, first initial S, a cashier that served Mrs. Maloney at the night of the murder; and Watterson, first initial D, a shopper at the grocery store. All of these eyewitnesses prove even further that this case should be dismissed. If this trial can continue, this will set a precedent that people are nothing against the government even when they are innocent. The prosecution harbors no evidence and in fact has to prove the plethora of alibis and witnesses that prove that Mary was not home. To paint the picture, on September 1st, 1953, Mary Maloney had been awaiting her husband's arrival all day to make sure he felt just at home. As she mentioned to the police, Patrick was tired. So tired, in fact, he couldn't make it to their pre-planned night out to eat. So, to make up for this, Mary needed to make dinner for her husband. She went out to get the food, and according to eyewitness accounts, she was entering the grocery store to buy ingredients for dinner. As our key witness, Sam Bertrand, has told police, he recalls that Mary was excited to cook dinner for her husband and was not home during the time of the murder. This means that Mary has an alibi, proving she could not have killed Patrick. How could she have killed her husband when she was not even near him? Furthermore, investigators on the scene concluded that Patrick was killed by a large, blunt object, and the murder weapon would tie the suspect to the crime. However, no murder weapon was found, and Mary Maloney has an alibi with evidence she was not home. Overall, Mary Maloney could not have killed her husband, Patrick Maloney. Please see Mary Maloney not guilty of first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Thank you.
Now that the opening statements are done, may the real trial begin.